We're conducting a shoot interview today with William Black, 2KW superstar, 2KW veteran.
Yes, sir.
This is a no-holds-barred interview. Anything goes. Mr. Black will speak his mind. First question, let's talk about 2KW back then. You are a veteran. You've been here for 7 years. What do you see as the difference between 2KW then and 2KW now? How has it progressed?
I say back then, 2KW, when I first started in 2KW 7 years ago, I was 14 years old. A lot of the guys who were around my same age ranged from about 14 to the oldest wrestler was Vinnie Mac. Nobody really knew his age, but everybody was basically young. So 2KW back then was just a bunch of kids getting together on the weekends with nothing to do, having fun. You know, we took it serious to the fact that we got together every week and we had a show, we had belts, it was storylines, so we were dedicated to that aspect. But nobody really, you know, as far as being an actual wrestler and looking like an actual wrestler, we didn't take that aspect that serious. We were just having fun back then. I say now we're more dedicated to wrestling instead of just looking like backyarders. Like, no offense to any backyard fed out there, but you know, we're looking more towards the future now that we're grown men. Everybody's grown.
How would you say you personally have progressed since 7 years ago?
Well, 7 years ago, I was Reaper back then when I first started. I remember my first match, I wasn't Reaper at all. I was just Will. You know, that was my real name, Will. Reaper back then was a mean guy. He was the big angry black guy. I was a lot heavier back then, so you know, it was a different fighting style. I wasn't as developed as I am now as far as wrestling knowledge. I was just I would imitate what I saw on TV as far as whether it's from taking a bump or just doing the move. I tried to wrestle like the guys that inspired me to wrestle, Mankind, Undertaker. I was a big Rhino fan. A lot more hardcore back then. I did a lot of crazy stuff when I was younger. Light bulbs, thumbtacks. I wanted to do barbed wire. I never got a chance to do that. But I say back then I was just more into getting hit with things and being forceful instead of actually wrestling. And now I want to be looked at as a top wrestler, a good wrestler, you know, a great wrestler eventually. You know, that's where the focus has changed from then.
You mentioned you went under a different name. You went by Reaper, of course,
yeah,
for a while in 2KW. What compelled you to change your name and character from Reaper to William Black?
I guess you could just say, like, I grew up. Like Reaper, once I started getting more focused on losing weight, I felt I was too heavy. I couldn't do more of the moves that I wanted to do. A lot more high flying, if you want to call it, and a lot more aerial attacks, and I wanted to move quicker. I wanted to be something other than a powerhouse. You know, Reaper was a character that was just a bruiser. He went out there and fought with his fist. He didn't really fight with his mind to get the match done, and that was good for back then. But once I lost the weight, I was like, well, I can still pick up some of the guys that's back here. I pretty much pick up everybody's back there, but it doesn't look right for me to be such a big menacing character when I'm not that big and menacing. So I just figured, let's go in a different direction. And with William Black, I get to explore more things. You know, I get to open up. I get to talk a lot more, because as Reaper I didn't talk a lot, and then when I did, it was 1 or 2 words here or there. But you know, William Black is just a chance to be more like myself. You know, he's a pretty boy, he's a playboy. You know, just show off, and I just felt let's go with that.
Speaking of 2KW in the olden days, we've had a lot of superstars come and go.
Yeah.
What former 2KW superstars who are no longer here would you love to see come back to the 2KW?
Former 2KW superstars. The first name that popped in my head, a lot of people may laugh, is actually Vinnie Mac. I would love to see Vinnie Mac, just to see how he would have tried to progress, because he was never the best wrestler back there. He was actually horrible. But like us, he went out there and gave it his best every week, and that's all we can ask here. So I say Vinnie Mac, I would like to see him come back, just to see. He's a lot older than us now, so just to see him out there would be funny to me personally. Let's see, it's a lot of characters. We had a character back then named Donald who was he was just he was stiff. He was a joke character making fun of another wrestler that we had here. But it'd be funny just to see him beat up on some of the guys that's back there and see how they respond to that. So, I don't know. Those are the only names that pop up right now as far as old wrestlers that I would like to see make a comeback.
Let's move up to present day 2KW. 2KW seems to have this monopoly on backyard wrestling in New York. You know, other feds have come and gone, but they pretty much no longer exist, or they're fading out. And we seem to have picked up all of the really talented wrestlers from each federation. What do you think is the main reason or reasons behind 2KW really dominating backyard wrestling in New York?
I say the reason people pay so much attention to us is because like the same reason I joined back when I first joined when I was 14. I would watch on MNN when I first started, and when every other federation was in the playground and wrestling on mats, 2KW was behind Manhattan Center on the grass. You know, it was just 2KW is always a different product from what I was seeing, and I feel even now that we're on the mats now, we're still giving something different from what other backyard federations are giving. We got storylines that are continuous, and we have great wrestlers with great talent. We're not just going out there and jumping off the top of a roof just to get a reaction. You know, we can go out there and lock up and chain wrestle for 15 minutes and still capture your attention because we give you something good and something real. So people real recognize real, and people see good talent, they gonna recognize it and want to see it some more. So that's why we capturing the attention of everybody on YouTube right now.
2KW runs a very tight shift, it's true. As far as any problems though, have you witnessed, let's say in the last year, any specific problem with anybody else or with yourself and somebody else or anything like that that you want to comment on? Just vent.
Let's say a problem with myself would be, I personally don't have any problems within 2KW. I find myself to be a very nice dude to everybody back there. You know, I try my best to, you know, I come in the park and I make sure I say what's up to everybody that's back there. I give a handshake to everybody that's back there. A problem people might have with me is seeing as though I'm close friends with the scriptwriter. He's one of my best friends in the whole world. Seeing as though we're so close, people may say, well, all William Black has to do is ask for something and to get it, which is not true, completely untrue, because I've never asked for anything in this federation. As long as I've been here 7 years, I've never said, man, I would sure like to hold this belt, or you should give me this belt, basically. I've never said anything like that, or I specifically want this feud. I might make suggestions that, hey, it'd be cool to fight this guy, but I've never asked and received, because I understand the scriptwriter, he comes up with the script, so I can go make a suggestion, but if it doesn't fit a certain storyline that he has in mind, then it's just not time for that. So people have the misconception that just because I kiss ass, I get what I want, and it's not true. A lot of people that say that haven't been here for 7 years, so they don't know the work I put in. They don't see the dedication and the blood and sweat and everything that I've been through in 2KW. So that's one of the main problems I feel people have with me, is that I just get what I want, and that's not true, because I want a lot of things in 2KW, but I know there's a time and a place for all that, so when it comes to me, it comes, you know.